Hello everyone, my name is Felipe Zuluaga and welcome to a new video. Oye, muy raro saludaros en inglés, ¿no? Pero bueno, el video de hoy es uno de los que probablemente más me han pedido en mi canal porque muchos de ustedes me han preguntado la forma en la que yo aprendí inglés y cómo a través de los años he logrado no olvidarlo. Entonces, el día de hoy les voy a traer tips, ideas, recomendaciones, truquitos para que puedan aprender este idioma con mucha más facilidad y lo tengan ahí como en su abanico de conocimientos. Así que si estás aprendiendo inglés o quieres aprender inglés, y no solamente inglés porque yo creo que esto aplica para todos los idiomas, este video es para ti. Bueno, y algo para notar es que este video va a ser en inglés para que empiecen a practicar conmigo. Switch to English. Well, I know I'm not a native speaker and that I might not have the perfect pronunciation, but today I want to tell you my story with this language, how I picked it up and how throughout the years I've been able to manage to not forget it. So in 2008 I had the opportunity to live in the United States of America. This was because of my dad's job and we were in San Antonio, Texas for about 6 months, and it was a pretty nice experience for me. Then we moved to Washington. It was a city called McLean, Virginia, just about 15 minutes from Washington DC, and you could say here that full immersion. I was pretty much forced to learn the language. There I was in high school. I also went to a university to study English. It's called UNAM. I know a lot of my Mexican friends would know about it. And a few years later I went to Switzerland. I was there with my aunt, with my cousin. I was playing football and I was learning German. I think Switzerland is a very, very international place, but you could pretty much get around with English. So here I got another chance to practice it. And the most recent experience I had with language was in Sydney, Australia. I lived here for roughly 2 years and I did my master's degree in management. This, I could say, is the most growing experience in my life. A lot of people are afraid of learning English in Australia because of the accent, because they have a very different accent from that of American English and British English. But it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun to learn and know people that are native speakers and just kind of get used to this accent. So this little story is just to sum up my experience with the language, how I learned it, how I picked it up, how I could be able to understand and perfect it. But now, how to learn it and how to keep it. First, practice, practice, practice. I know this sounds pretty straightforward, but if you want to learn a language, you gotta practice every day. Your videos, your movies, your books, audiobooks, whatever you see must be in English. Even if you're starting with the process of learning the language, these actions will teach your brain the sound and the structure of English. In other words, just surround yourself with the language and make English part of your everyday life. For example, I used to watch all the movies and series and everything in English with English subtitles. This works, it's scientifically proven by me. 2. Actively take note of new vocabulary. When we are learning, we often find words, expressions and phrases that seem impossible to forget. But since English is not our first language, it's pretty common that some things might not stick forever. Create the habit of having a small notepad and write down any word, phrase or expression that calls out for your attention. By doing this, you will increase your vocab and increase the understanding of language. 3. Use the new vocab you learned. Not only write down the words, practice. Set a goal of learning at least 5 new words every day. Use them in a sentence and bring them up in a conversation. This way they will stick in your mind. Imagine if you actually did this daily. You'd be Shakespeare in a year. Just kidding. It does work. 4. Don't translate. Use an English dictionary. If you don't know a word, don't rush and translate it. I know that this is what we would automatically do when we don't know something, but if you translate it, it's like you're cheating your learning process. This is the easiest way out. Learn English by studying in English. Push yourself to work and learn and think in English. 5. Talk to real life humans. What I mean is that if you talk to people face to face or maybe just in a computer through Zoom or just video calls or whatever, your conversational skills will go up. And this is the most effective way of learning not only English but any language. Have you ever heard anyone saying, and I'm pretty sure you have, "Oh, I understand everything but I can't talk"? Well, this is due to lack of conversation, due to lack of practicing, and it usually happens because they fear the language. They just maybe are ashamed of talking in English. But just don't fear language. Just practice, practice, and practice. Even if it comes out wrong, just do it. Search online for English learning groups and find yourself a partner. 6. Remind yourself why every single day. Why do you want to learn this language? Is this because you're going on a study exchange? You want to apply for a new job, university or school requirement, pure pleasure? Having your why clearly defined will motivate you and stick you to your learning process. 7. Don't quit. Learning a new language is a very challenging task. Sometimes we might feel hopeless, sad, exhausted, worn out, discouraged, and feel the urge to quit. Don't. This, like everything else, is a process. Trust it. If you put in the work, I'm pretty sure that more sooner than later, you'll be making a lot of progress. 8. Use the internet. If you're not able to go to a university, to an academy, to school, it's totally fine. Nowadays, there are plenty of resources to learn a language online, so this is not an excuse for you to not learn and solve your doubts about it. Self-schooling is really good if you do school yourself. And I saved the best for last. 9. Se escuchó como si estuviera hablando alemán. 9. Do not be afraid. This is one of the most common mistakes when learning English. We think too much whether what we are going to say is right or wrong. Just don't doubt it. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. Just talk. You are learning. It's alright to make mistakes. The problem with this is that we usually end up not trying, not speaking, not practicing, and in conclusion, we just don't learn the language. Help yourself in your own development. And I think that's it for now. Just remember, this is a process. You don't learn a language from one day to another, and it's very important that you talk, speak up. Just don't keep it here. I don't know if I'll be making another English videos because it's just kind of weird for me to be talking with you. I mean, but not with you, with the camera. But yeah, it's okay. I enjoy it, and I think that this will be very helpful to a lot of people. And I hope that you enjoy it, share it, comment, and use it. Y no siendo más, nos vemos en el siguiente video. Ciao. This last message is for my friends in Australia, in Pakistan, in India, in Texas, in DC, McLean, in everywhere in the world. Thank you, because you made me better. And I miss you and I love you.